Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Beautiful sunny day here in Michigan, which it's been sunny for quite a while. It's starting to get annoying. Real dry around, but anyway, been working on Dodge today, but it's not a rusty Dodge as much, so makes working on it a heck of a lot easier. You got to do ball joints all the way around the top and bottom, which got upper control arms. This is a 1500, so get to replace the upper control arms. Parking brake doesn't work either. It's a 5-speed stick shift, so figure take a look at the parking brake, climb underneath there, and you can clearly see this thing does not have the camera switch while it's recording. I'll just show you. So over here you've got your dust shield, okay, and you got these little holes, where's my finger, for the pins that hold the brake shoes in place. There's a little clip that goes around the pin. I'll slide over to the other side here. And then you notice on this side, there's no dust shield. You got just the rotor. Here's the cable, and that's all you get. I pulled that side off to find out that there's no shoes in there, as there are none in here. I mean, this was a vehicle my relatives just bought from somebody, and so I'm going through this truck, and I'm like, holy Hannah. Why would they do this? Why didn't they call me and ask me, hey, can you come take a look at a vehicle for us? Jeez. I mean, I would have crawled under here, seen a bunch of this jackassery. I mean, look at all this. This is just strips of metal they welded onto the exhaust. One of these I'll show you a little later. It's busted off. You can see this little rust spot all the way around there. I can angle the camera wherever it's best. Just see this little rust spot. That actually whole thing had busted off the tailpipe back there. So it's like, oh, it needs a new exhaust hanger. Like, no, it doesn't. It needs the thing welded back on if it's not too rusted. Everything on here has been welded. Just everything. Yes? Huh? Yeah. Alright, well, we'll leave off where I was. So you got all this welded here, and then you've got this wonderful welded section where something happened. I don't know if there was an O2 sensor there or what. They literally stuck a smaller section of pipe in up here and down here and welded it all together, and then they proceeded to weld the catalytic converter front and rear. That's been replaced. I just got done replacing that O2 sensor. It was throwing a code. The housing for it had actually busted off the top, and it was just wiggling around. So that was wonderful. But this boot here is supposed to be clamped on right here to help protect the shaft from debris and rust. And that is obviously not there. And you can see it is rusty and crusty a bit. And then there's supposed to be this dust seal around here. You can see where it's dirty and where it's semi-clean. Well, that's missing now. So that's just another little thing. But this truck's got a rough country lift on it, which, whatever, it's not even necessary. It's a little 4.7 V8. Yeah, I just don't even know. I'm gonna look at this other thing too. And this just goes for how freaking redneck this shit is. Look at this. Ready? Where these bolts are overlapping this housing, those aren't factory. Okay, now imagine this bearing goes bad up in here, where this is going to allow movement. You're going to chew this housing right the frick up, man. Jeepers criminy. Redneckery. Rubber? Yeah, a little bit of rubber there. Interesting. Or something. But that's part of the jackassery. Oh, the other thing too, I ended up finding, oh, excuse me, as I scoot all the way down the back of the truck here. These bolts, all 4 of them, were less than finger tight. They weren't very far backed out, but they were enough to where there was a gap in between here and the plate. So that way the whole plate was just moving around. You know, driving it, I thought I felt a bad U-joint, so I got home and just did this. I noticed that there was movement back and forth on that, and noticed the gap and stuff, and I was like, oh my god. And I touched the bolt, and it spun, and I was like, what? So I tightened all 4 of those, and this looks like a fairly new U-joint, doesn't it? Pretty freaking clean, not a lot of dust, not a lot of anything. So they must have just replaced the U-joint. Guess what? It's already bad again. It doesn't have much slop, but it's got enough to give you that feeling while you're driving down the road. So let's see if I can see that piece from here. No, I gotta climb all over underneath this thing. The sun didn't block it. There you go. That's the rusted piece. Snapped off. Oh my gosh. Don't forget my hanger hook. Back under here again. This is pretty freaking clean. Here's just a little bit of orange, not bad at all, not bad, terrible. So, oh, I noticed that just now. I didn't pay attention to rust too much because it's not part of the job. How much rust there is on a vehicle, I saw that earlier too. But, so, that's just a little bit. LED headlight from China, flickers when you turn it on. Aftermarket frickin' Chinese grill. That's wonderful. I don't know if you'll be able to see it up in there at all. Probably. Maybe not. Here, I'll do that. You can see that. See little LED strips zip tied and stuck up in there. And you see that little red dot there? That's an LED as well. Right next to the hood latch. There's another one pointing inside the truck engine bay. I just think it's pretty freaking funny. Hood of the truck's at my neck. Engine literally starts about down here. I find that funny as frick. So you gotta open the hood and then proceed to look down at the engine. It's got a cold air intake on it. Nothing special, man. It's a Spectre. It's probably from Harbor Freight, or O'Reilly's, almost next door in our location. So, but oh man, just having a heyday with Dodge. And then today, took a look at this 745i. So, complaint. Took it to the dealer. Dealer said it needed a new transmission, and because I wanted a 750 for the longest time, an 06 to 08 750 Li, and that's before I got my LB7. So I did some research online, of oodles and oodles and oodles of research. I googled, like, one of the first things I googled was 750 Li common problems. I read down the list of pretty much everything that's ever been listed. And I was like, you know what, it's not well known of the gib joint causing hard shifting, clunking, just delayed shifts feeling. And so I said, well, let me take a look at it, see if it's the gib joint, because from what I've read, people take your car to the dealer, say, hey, my car's shifting hard, it's doing funny stuff, making funny noises. Dealership will reprogram the computer, which softens the shifts or something, I don't know. And then a week later, they said that was back to banging and just as bad. So, dealer's like, oh, you need a whole new transmission. No, people are like, you look at this rubber joint, $60, and it'll get you home again, nice and smooth. So, this one has 175,000 miles. The code was reverse gear ratio, incorrect reverse ratio, something like that. So check the fluid level. It's not completely dirty. It's full. Transmission's having an issue then, most likely, unless the filter's getting plugged up. But now it's got oil leaks galore, so that's always a bonus. But oh man, I just look and I'm like, you know, I won't say terribly how much I paid for it, but they probably paid a bit too much, because to get the parking brake set up, reinstalled, brand new, you're gonna be talking some serious dough, and I ain't doing it because I'm moving. 28th July, I'm out of here. Trailer should be done Friday. Monday I should be able to pick it up. Monday the shop door closes and everything goes in the trailer, and Saturday I should take off. So that's tomorrow. Tool comes to do ball joints. It's not my first time, won't be my last time, but I didn't have the tool. Dad ended up having it last time when we did it on my LB7. So just got to do the lowers. Shouldn't be too bad. It's not that rusty. So spray it with some liquid wrench. Should be good to go. Tool will be here tomorrow. Parts are already here. So that's why I did the O2 sensor. And man, we should be ready to rock and roll. So just thought I'd share my little adventure today. How much time I got? Okay. Audi A4 2011. Turbo's bad. Replaced the diverter valve with the OEM unit. Didn't fix it. It's got a code for underboost or something like that. And wonderful. It makes a whining noise now, but it's like 8,000 miles overdue for an oil change. Not mine, obviously. I've got the means to do an oil change, so. But I did end up doing brakes on it because the brake light was on, the change brake pads. So I put new rotors, new pads, what you have to do with Audis and Volkswagens, BMWs. As you see on this car, you've got a little lip at the top of the rotor there for the focus on it. Boop. There you go. So that's the lip at the top of the rotor, because the pad doesn't use the entire surface area, and they must use a softer metal or something, because they end up having to replace the pad and the rotor. And most of the time, they want an absolute fortune to do it at the dealership. So, this is a Power Stop brand. It was 150 bucks on Rock Auto to the door. Actually, no, about $170 to the door, something like that. And that's the whole kit caboodle: the sensor, the pads, the rotors. Something's a little wrong here. I undid the axle nut and the whole thing dropped. But it's weird because there's two sets of splines, inner and outer, and it moves up and down. Do it with one hand. So I'm gonna finish getting the brakes off.